ignore my messy hair. It's a mess. It's fine. And I wanted to make this video today because I kind of need to make it today or tomorrow because it relates to my birthday, which is today's video, is my birthday wish list / telling you, like, I had my last dance class yesterday, like my last dance class before I turned 16, and what that was like, because it was cool, and stuff. So this is not me bragging, by the way. This is not me being like, oh, I want all this stuff for my birthday, because really, I didn't ask for much. This is because I know sometimes some of my family watches my videos, and some of them, like, sometimes will, like, ask me, like, what do you want for your birthday or something. So, like, this is kind of to help them out / just make a fun video for you guys that didn't take a ton of effort. Also, I got, like, today, I got to kind of see, like, so here's what happened with today. I got to basically not see my presents, but kind of. Like, they're wrapped. So I got to, like, see them as they're wrapped. It was two separate things. They're two separate things. And one is in a JoJo bag, which I'm very excited about. But I have no clue what it is. I don't even have any guesses, because it's one of those sides. I think that it can either be one big thing, or like two medium things, or like 4 medium things maybe, or a lot of little things. I don't even know. Like, there's a variety. The other thing is big. And I'm pretty sure it's for my birthday. I don't know exactly because it's very, very big also. I say this because it appeared out of nowhere the other day when my dad was wrapping birthday presents. And how I know this is because I've been in the classroom, like, up until then, and then all of a sudden, and we had class today. And the thing is, this week we've been kind of back and forth on school, and the reason is because there was one day where my parents were paying bills and stuff, I think, or doing, which is important, and then there was one day where I got my blood drawn and stuff. So, like, it's always back and forth on school. Like, I mean, if, like, we're doing something very important that day, then and it's something, like, that we do in the morning, then we usually don't do school. But other than that, we try to do school unless it's a Saturday or a Sunday, or if it's a special occasion, like my birthday. And sometimes on certain holidays. But, like, usually it's holidays that, like, most people get out of school or don't have school on. So this year, I have no guesses on one thing because it's big and it's an awkward shape, so I don't know. I just know it's gonna be cool, but I have no clue what it is. I just know it looks like it's gonna be cool. So this year I didn't ask for much for my birthday. I asked for a few things. One, I don't think I'm getting, but it's fine because, like, it's fine. Like, but one thing I might. Well, so this year, the first thing on my birthday was a dance mat, and fold-up one, because the one that I have comes apart in class. I don't think I'm getting one, but it's fine, like, but it comes apart in class. It's just, mine is a puzzle piece one, and it's very bad, and I have explained in past videos. The second thing, this was something that was smart, kind of, which I never ask for clothes for my birthday. I never am the one to get excited too much over clothes. Like, unless it's JoJo clothes, then sometimes I'll be like, yes. But, like, which was dance shorts. Because I have so many dance tops. I have a couple different dance crop tops. Like, I want to say, like, I have, like, for one of them is gonna go to Bella or Skylar soon. Because it doesn't fit me anymore. And one's not technically a dance top, but I will be wearing it as a dance top. Because it's a crop top in general, but it works great for dance. I haven't worn it yet, which is my squad crop top. And so that's good. I'm saving it for squad tour, which right now, I'm gonna get into that in a second. Then well, here's the thing. I never really, like with squad tour, the thing was, I kind of did ask for it. That was something on my birthday list I really wanted, but I didn't think it would happen, and literally what happened was that, like, I didn't think it would happen. And then when it did, my mind is still blown that it actually happened. And stuff. So, yeah, the next thing on my birthday, those were, like, the two things that, like, I specifically asked for. The next thing is anything JoJo. Because I love JoJo. So I'm always down for anything JoJo. The next thing is anything fidgets or slime. Because I love fidgets and slime. And that's basically my entire birthday list this year. There was two more things on my birthday, which was anything like squad merch or like petite and pretty, that sort of thing. But also the other thing was anything dance related, because I love dance stuff. And that is my birthday list. Not much, okay, like not much, and a lot of smaller things. I do have something coming in the mail, because my sister, we got to talk to her yesterday on the phone, and she said that today she was sending something out to us as a birthday gift for me, but won't be here until at least Monday or Tuesday, we're thinking. But my birthday is on Sunday. And I'm excited. And, I'm excited about, because, I wanted to kind of talk about, 15 and stuff, and, dancing. Being 15 has definitely been one of my better years / harder years. Just stuff that I'm not putting out there, but for the most part, it's been one of my better years, because out of turning 15, so much fun stuff happened, and things I didn't think would happen. I'm training with the Abbey Lee Dance Company it may only be on Zoom, but still, that's amazing. And yeah. That's amazing. And another thing, and that happened this year that was really cool. But also, this is, running the thing that, I'm grateful for all of it, but, this is one of the things that, I'm the most grateful for, which is I got two dance friends. Like, I got two dance friends, and I have a dance friend who is amazing and incredible and talented, dancer, and I think she's a gymnast too, because I see a lot on her Instagram stories about like gymnastics and stuff, along with dance, which is Linnea. Shout out to her if she's watching. Like, she literally has been an incredible just dance friend in general, and it's just really cool. And then my other dance friend, who is one of my best friends, like literally, I think me and Linnea are also like best friends, but it never got confirmed. And it was always like, it's been confirmed for a while that we are like friends. And I guess good friends, like, but it was never confirmed best friends, but I think it is, in a way. But yeah, like, which is Eva. Eva has been an amazing friend for me for a while. Literally both of them, I feel like Eva came into my life at the perfect timing for me, because it was a perfect timing because I was in between stuff that I'm not talking about, but also she came into my life at a time when me and Bella, we are on good terms. Me and Bella are still best friends, as far as I know. Haven't heard otherwise. But, like, it was a time period that unfortunately we're still in, kind of, which that Bella gets busy, and, like, Bella recently moved and stuff. Well, not too recently now, but, like, still some. And Bella gets busy because she's a very active, busy kid that loves hanging out with friends and different things. So, like, it gets hard for us to talk sometimes because in between that, but also, her mom works, and because her mom works, which plays into part of when we can talk, because she uses her mom's phone lately. Well, not lately, it's been a while that she's been using her mom's phone, because she had a phone but didn't use it or something. Then, but like, so like there, plus I have a busy dance schedule, so like in between that, like, it played into, and so like there's time periods where we're not on bad terms, and so we don't get to talk as much as we would like to sometimes, and that's okay. But like literally Eva, and then like Eva came into my life. I'm instantly, and the full story behind that. And then I'm gonna explain the full story behind Linnea, like how we became friends, which was with Eva. So it was a Monday night. I was logged on for dance. That night we had this one dance teacher, I think Bianca or something. And sorry, I can never get her name straight in my mind for some reason, because I heard it out loud once. But usually I read it, and reading used to not be my strong area. Now it's actually pretty decent now. I'm just a slow reader, and that's okay. Like, in the time that I feel like in the time that a lot of people would be, like, done with, like, 4 chapters of a book, that, like, each chapter is, like, maybe 6 or 7 pages, and I'd be maybe on the, like, 4th page of the first chapter. Like, I'm a slow reader, and that's okay. And as long as I know how to read, we're good. I don't have to read fast and stuff. And so, yeah, like that situation. But then, and anyway, I don't know why I was saying. Okay, and so I logged on we had this one dance teacher. We had ballet class that night. Ballet class. And this was like my first, or no, this was like one of my first few weeks on point. And then, and after ballet class, we had like a jumps and turns class. We had like a warm up and stretch class with Miranda, and then some other class that us. And so, me being me, I was logged on early. I'm usually early. Like, even yesterday, I was logged on early. Which yesterday, and we had Danny, and I was the only one on Zoom, and I was like just stretching, kind of warming up, stretching. And when Danny logged on and stuff, like with like the students and stuff, like getting ready, and she saw that I was on point, and I got to like show her my point shoes and stuff. She told me to be careful though, but that like, I think in her mind she thought it was like my first week on point, which it is not. And like, which makes sense though, considering she never seen like my shoes. Versus I was doing a stretch with my foot up on the bar and she could see. And she asked if I was on point, and I did this, and so she's like, meaning yes. And then she's like, well, oh, can I, like, see them? So I, like, kind of, like, showed her. And then she's like, okay, cool, just be careful. You know, for safety. Which, I did a double turn on point yesterday. I was messing around, like, I think in the middle of class or something. Because the kids were, like, out of frame or something. I think running or something. I don't even know. For a minute, and because I think they messed up on something, and something that they know really well, and they like purposely messed up, so she was making them run for a couple seconds of punishment or something, and because actions have consequences and stuff, and then and I was like messing around, and so I went like, oh, I'm just gonna try to do a turn. And now I'm still kind of new to turning on point, and I did a double turn, and it actually had a clean landing, which is hard for me to do because usually my turns have an unexpected landing, and not always bad, just I never know how my turn's gonna end. So that was cool. But anyway, back to the story. And so I put in the chat like I'm doing good on point because I was doing good, and I wanted to tell the teacher because that seemed like something she might want to know. And then Eva actually replied to that in the chat and then like, wait, we're supposed to be on point, and I'm like, I know, but I am, because it's optional. Like, you don't have to wear air shoes if you don't want to. Like, you can wear like ballet shoes or point shoes or whatever. Just, then one thing led to another. So I replied to her and I'm like, no, but I am. And she replied to that like, okay, cool. And I'm like, something like, because I kind of had seen her well, at that point, or like, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, because I could see her on Zoom, and I'm like, you know what? She seems like a nice person, and she seems very young. Don't know how old she is, but like, she seems very young, but she seems like a nice person. So I put in the chat and I replied to her, I'm like, do you want to be friends? And she replied to that, yeah. And then I replied to it, here's my Instagram. So I gave her my Instagram name and I'm like, do you have an Instagram? It's okay if not. And she replied, here's my Instagram. So get done with class, and she logged off a little bit early. But she stayed for ballet class. And like that entire time I'm like, wait, I just made a friend. No, and it's not that like people don't want to be my friend. It's that I usually keep my social life very small. I choose not to have a lot of friends. That's something that comes with being a dancer, because it's hard with dance friends. It's hard, or than like other friends. And the reason it's hard having friends as a dancer is because if you have dance friends, you're most likely gonna, at some point in your career or something, you might go to a competition and they might be at the same competition and you might have to compete against them, or you might show up to an audition and there can only be one at the end and you have to like audition up against them. Like, you never know if you're gonna go up against them at some point, so that's hard because then you want them to win, but you also want it yourself. And then you sometimes want to be like, why can't there be 2 spots? And we can both get the 2 spots. That would make it simple, but it's not, because you want it and they want it. But then yet, in a way, you also, like, if you don't get it, you want them to get it. And same thing for them. And that makes sense. Like, that you both want the same thing, but at the same time, you're like, if I can't get it, I want them to get it, you know? But with people who aren't dancers, it's also hard to make friends with them, because a lot of the times, dance takes a lot of effort. Like, it takes a lot of work to be a dancer, but also there's a lot of times when you're going to be in class. Like, there's so much training to be a dancer and stuff. Like, being a dancer just takes so much time and so many rehearsals and classes and stuff. Now, for me, I don't have rehearsals because, again, I'm training on Zoom. I'm not competing or anything. I'm just taking dance classes. But there's so many that you're in class a lot. There's a lot of classes. Like, for me right now, I have access to the Friday class. But right now, I would say there's like 4 days in a week that I'm directly in class. Because I don't do Fridays and we don't do Tuesdays because there isn't a Tuesday class. as on Zoom, far as I know of anyways. And Saturdays don't, well, actually Saturdays didn't have a class, but now they have an acrobatic class thing that I don't do. And that's kind of the same with Friday. So, yeah, like that's the situation, but then with people who aren't dancers, they don't always understand it. They don't understand why you have to be at dance class or logged on for dance class at so many hours on so many days a week. They don't understand dance because they're not dancers or they know nothing about dance. And that can be hard because then sometimes they might think, oh, like you're just blowing us off. You don't want to be our friend. You're blowing us off for, oh, you care more about dance than you do your friends or something. And that's just kind of hard. Now, I'm not saying all people are like this. In no way. I'm saying that there are people who don't understand it, which can be hard. So, like, being a dancer, friends are kind of a thing that, like, in your, like, there's no rules against having friends, but it can be hard sometimes. Now, for me, it's also because I basically, I have no interest in going places too much, like, to make friends or anything, and for that reason, and then my social life happened on Instagram with my two dance friends, pretty much, and like, I have a lot of followers and stuff, well, not a lot, I would say a fairly good amount. Last I checked, it was 207, which isn't, like, I feel like for social media that's very low, but also, like, I'm very thankful for them. And obviously I still want to, like, continue getting more followers, but I'm thankful for that and stuff. So, yeah, like, that's the situation. And my other bit of my social life is on Zoom taking dance classes, which then I'm focused on the dance class. So, like, that's the situation. But then that kind of led to one thing, and then I went on my phone afterwards because I had I wrote down Eva's Instagram on a piece of paper that I had so I would remember it. And I went on my phone and was getting ready to like follow her and stuff. And I had a notification that I had a new follower, so I checked it, and it was Eva. And then I followed her back, and our friendship stayed as friends for a while, for like, I want to say at least like a week, maybe two. Like, we stayed as friends for a little while. Well, and then one day, and like after like we basically had a good friendship, I knew that she was a safe, like, okay, and like I could be really good friends with her situation. And then, we were DMing this one day, and I'm like, actually, I feel like it was maybe the next day. Like, I generally feel like it was the next day. I went like, yeah, because I had destroyed feet. Yeah, from wearing points. My feet were adjusted. And although now my feet have fully adjusted pretty well, like every once in a while, like, yes, my feet will get like a piece of peeled skin or something. But that's called being a dancer. Like, it's a normal thing. And I like DM'd her and went like, hey, do you want to be best friends? And she replied, yeah. And so that's the whole story of how our friendship began. Now, with Linnea, it was a different story, but also, like, a pretty good, like, kind of quick story. And so with Linnea, what happened that I logged on. So, like, I had seen her on Zoom quite a few times. So, like, I had an idea of, like, oh, she's a good, talented dancer. Or Eva, I didn't really know too much. But I kind of knew enough to be like, okay, she is safe, like, I can be friends with her situation. But with Linnea, I logged on Zoom. We had, like, a Thursday class. And then she logged on. And what happened with that, it never happened, by the way. The class never started. And then, like, we started, like, kind of talking in the chat a little bit, but it was over, like, how come the class didn't happen and stuff. Then, so then, the next Wednesday, the same thing happened, and I'm like, hey, do you want to be friends? And she replied, sure, and I'm like, hey, I'm thinking of creating a group chat with, if you want to be in it, like, I can put you in it, like, I would just me, you, and then, like, one of my other dance friends. And she's like, okay, cool. So then Eva, I had asked Eva if she wanted to be in the group chat, and she's like, yeah, sure. So I created the group chat, and then, like, we just been friends ever since. That's the whole story. Peace out.